mean by empirical observation? Because that is the first need of this country. Because we are in education from last decade and decade, it's a preconceived or answer seeking education. And because of that speed reading education, we are not having empirical observations. Empirical observation means a first observation, which is, you can say, a Nobel Prize paper. And a proud moment for me is these 2,500 research scholars of mine. They are giving a proud moment to me because now they are at every institute. You named it, you will find my student there. You named a Princeton, you named Cambridge, you named Michigan, Indian Institute of Science, IITs. Any institute you named it, you will find there. Now they are become a research associate. They become a director at research. They become a chief scientific officer. And one more proud moment is every year whenever the Nobel Prize is announcing, I will find my student there. And this is a great moment for me. My guru is actually a world teacher. He is man of research. And he has shown me some coordinate, and I experienced that coordinate in universe. In that coordinate, the experience what I gained from him, the time lapsed to zero. And I tell you one thing, if you understand that empirical observation, and today is our initiation day, if you understand that empirical observation inwardly, at that moment the revolution starts inwardly. What do you mean by empirical observation? Inwardly, go to yourself, sir. I am not talking to you. I am talking to your observer. An observer which controls your brain, an observer which controls your nervous system, an observer which controls your whole body, or you can say the observer which controls your whole container. And go inwardly and observe yourself. There are so many going things around you. And inwardly, if all those observations are interrelated, then it will become an empirical observations. And if all those empirical observations are interrelated, then it becomes a law. So, I am not at all an authority, sir. You can reject me, you can object me. The moment you deny me, reject me, at that moment, the inward empirical observation will happen with you. Every entrepreneur, or in education world, or you can say in MSME, or all the entrepreneurs or CEO, CXO, what exactly you want? And nowadays you are seeing that we are getting the unicorns and everything. So what exactly we want? We want a growth. Are you there, sir, all of you? So we want a growth. Now, when we are talking about the growth, what we are looking for? We are looking n before a x? Or are you looking for a x over the n? Are you understanding what I am saying to you? We are looking n before a x, or are we looking for a x over the n? Sir, if India is looking x over the n, sir, then we'll make a revolution. And still we are looking n before a x, then still we are in chaos. And what chaos is that? Before come to the empirical law, sir, tell me one thing. How much part of your brain you are using? Anybody, sir? How much part of your brain you are using? Less than 3% or a 10%? And who told you about this? Since from our childhood, we are trained with a set patterns We are trained with a code of conduct. We are educated in such a way that we become an answer seeker. And inwardly, a fragmentary part of your brain, we have used that fragmentary part of our brain and create a content. That content is become a consciousness of us. And through that consciousness, we are dealing the whole. And this is the problem, sir. With that fragmentary part of our brain, with that narrow content which we have created the consciousness, that consciousness is dealing the whole. And if we are doing that, we never will get X over the answer. We are always behind the N before X, N before X. What exactly the entrepreneur wants, what exactly the scholar wants, how the Nobel Prize paper is going to publish. You are all an observer. And what we want to observe. We want to observe. And if I am saying this, sir, if we are, or if the observer of yours, think inwardly, sir, if observer is the observed, I reverse it, observe the observed. Are you there, sir? Observe the observed, and once the observed become the observer, the ultimate happens with you. And how the observed become the observer? Because whatever you are observing, in case of your entrepreneur field, in case of a CEO is having any observation, CXO is having any observation, anybody is observing something, if that observed becomes the observer, the ultimate and the absolute awakening comes. But this is not happening. And the reason is time and space in between the observer and the observed. Are you getting, sir? Time and the space is in between the observer and the observer. And if we eliminate the time and space between the observer and the observed, I will tell you one thing, sir, the miracle will happen with you. Can we eliminate the time and space between the observer and the observed? And before coming on that point, I will tell you a little story, or it can be a questionnaire as well. Sir, there is a tree on a top of a hill. There is a tree on a top of a hill. Tell me one thing. We are sending a two observer. One observer is who know that it is a mango tree, and second observer, he don't know anything. He don't know anything, and both go to the top of the hill, and both are observing that tree. Sir, tell me, in which case the absolute observation comes? In which case the absolute observation comes? Sir. How many of you believe that one who knows had an absolute observation? Raise your hand. Please. Sir, it is, as I told you that I am not an authority, it is a dialogue together. So how many believe that one who knows? Raise your hand. Please raise your hand. Acha, one who don't know? Exactly, sir. So this is the X over the N, sir. This is the X over the N. But this is not happening in our life. Not knowing is so beautiful, because when you are not knowing, you can access infinitesimally. So my Guru has given me one more thing, that is a world conscious movement. If you are getting that all those empirical observation inwardly, And if you believe the consciousness of me is the consciousness of world, the consciousness of me is the consciousness of world, then sir, I am the world and world is me. And that I does not belongs to me, that I belongs to all of us. And the best example is a flower, sir. A flower which is full of scent, full of perfume. Flower does not share his fragrance, but anybody who comes around the flower, he delighted in. And it is the best example for the consciousness of me, sir. So please close your eyes, sir, and observe inwardly and try to understand what empirical living is. Gather all the form of energy, gather all the form of energy through your senses, through your all senses, in complete attention. Remove the time and space between the observer and the observed. Believe me, sir, the immeasurable comes to your door. The immeasurable knocks your door. And this is the power of empirical observation.